All right, if you're a manager, you know this feeling, right? A to-do list that just never, ever ends, and that constant sense of being pulled in a dozen different directions at once. Well, today we're going to break down exactly why that happens. And more importantly, we're going to give you a real toolkit to actually fix it. Listen, that feeling, it's not you. It's not a personal failing. It's actually a design problem. The modern manager's role is, believe it or not, structurally built to create overwhelm. But here's the good news. Once you understand the design of the problem, you can start to tame the chaos.
So, let's get right into it. Why does it feel like you're doing so much? Well, the simple answer is because you are. The key is to stop thinking of your role as just one single job. Because in reality, it's a whole collection of different jobs, all happening at the same time.
Yeah, you heard me. 9. Research actually shows that a manager's responsibilities break down into 9 totally distinct domains. That means on any given day, you're often performing 9 different jobs, sometimes all at once. Is it any wonder it feels like a lot? I mean, just look at the sheer breadth of these domains. In a single day, you might be doing long-range, big-picture planning for the next 3 years. And then literally 5 minutes later, you're diving into a tiny day-to-day supervision issue. You're expected to be a strategist, a consultant, a diplomat, and a coordinator, all at once. This right here is the very core of the overload. Okay, so we've established what you're doing, a whole lot. But let's dig into the why. Why does juggling these 9 jobs so often feel structurally, fundamentally impossible? Well, it really comes down to a few key challenges that are just baked into the role itself. The number one culprit is something we can all relate to: fragmentation. Your day is just this constant, relentless stream of brief, varied, and interrupted activities. It's pretty much impossible to do that deep, focused, analytical work when your concentration is being shattered every few minutes. I mean, think about it. Your workday probably looks a little something like this. You finally sit down to work on that crucial strategic document, you're getting in the zone, and then bam, a fire drill lands in your inbox, and it needs your attention right now. So you handle that, you put out the fire, and you turn back to your document. But then a team member pings you. It's important, for sure, but it's another context switch, another total break in your focus. And just as you're trying to get back to your task, a deadline reminder pops up for something completely different. You see, this isn't multitasking, it's rapid, super inefficient task switching, and it just erodes the quality of your thinking and leaves you feeling perpetually behind. Now, on top of all that fragmentation, you're also caught in this web of competing expectations. You have to serve multiple stakeholders, and what they want is often in direct conflict with each other. This is the classic tension of management, isn't it? Your boss is laser focused on metrics, on costs, on output. But at the same time, your team, they need resources, they need realistic workloads, and they need your support. You are stuck right in the middle, and trying to make both sides happy at once is a recipe for some serious role tension. We've all heard this corporate mantra, haven't we? But let's be real, doing more with less almost always translates to fewer support staff and a whole lot more administrative work piling up on your plate, all while your team and your supervisory duties are actually expanding. Okay, so that's the problem. It's complex, it's structural, and it sounds kind of bleak. But, and this is a big but, it is not hopeless. So now let's shift gears and talk about the solution, a practical, hands-on toolkit you can start using today to manage the chaos and get some of your time back. First things first, you have to clarify. And I don't just mean making another to-do list. This is about having a real, explicit conversation with your own boss to lock in what your top 3 priorities are. Once you have that alignment, you finally have the justification you need to say no, or at least not now, to all those lower impact tasks. Next up is delegation. And this is so much more than just offloading work you don't want to do. Effective delegation is really about empowerment. It's about matching tasks to your team's own development goals, giving them the real authority to make decisions, and then trusting them to get it done. This doesn't just free you up, it builds your whole team's capacity. To combat that fragmentation we talked about, you have to be proactive, even aggressive about protecting your time. Block off deep work sessions on your calendar and treat them like you would a meeting with your CEO. They are non-negotiable. Cluster your admin tasks into specific windows instead of letting them bleed all over your day. And set clear norms with your team about what truly counts as an interruption. These little disciplines create the space you need for real strategic thinking. Not every single problem needs a custom from scratch solution. For all those recurring tasks, things like weekly reviews or onboarding a new hire, build simple, repeatable systems. Creating a standard process or even just a template reduces your cognitive load and it saves your precious mental energy for the truly new and complex challenges. So, we've gone through the 9 jobs and we have 4 solid strategies to manage them. But there is one final responsibility that underpins everything else. And honestly, it's the very first one we all neglect when the pressure is on. In that constant rush to serve your company, serve your team, serve your customers, it's so easy to forget that your effectiveness, your ability to do any of it well, depends entirely on one thing. And let me be perfectly clear, this is not selfish. It is absolutely essential. Managing your own energy and well-being isn't some luxury you get to when you finally have the time. It is a fundamental requirement of the job, especially when you're feeling overloaded. So what does that actually look like? Well, it means actively managing your own well-being. Getting enough rest, setting real boundaries. It means making time for your own learning and reflection. And it means holding on tight to your integrity when the pressure's on to cut corners. A burned out, purely reactive manager cannot lead a team effectively. It's just not possible. So I'll leave you with this thought. As a manager, you invest so much time and energy into taking care of your people and your organization's goals, but who is taking care of you? The only real answer has to be you. And making that a priority isn't just about survival. It's the real key to surviving and ultimately thriving in the long run.